Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. One of the companies that I overweighted in the beginning is Baselode. It's a uranium exploration company. Looks like they released some positive results. It says Baselode announces a new uranium discovery, drills 16.2 meters of elevated radioactivity in first drill program on the Hook Uranium project. So we'll take a quick look here and see what they've got. It looks like they're pleased to announce that it has intersected a wide zone of elevated radioactivity in the first drill program on its Hook uranium project. HK 21-07 was the first drill hole in the Accio target area on Hook. And guys, I don't know how to pronounce some of these, so. This discovery drill hole intersects 16.2 meters of continuous elevated radioactivity, greater than 300, and I don't know the unit of measure there, CPS. Starting at 133.8 meter drill hole depth, which is 115 meter vertical depth from the surface. And it's within a massive, structurally controlled hydrothermal alteration envelope that exceeds 250 meters thick. That's massive. Now, I pulled up another thing here. It says 115 meters of vertical depth, and I'm just showing you guys kind of what the sweet spot is. The exploration sweet spot is you want to be between about 500 meters and obviously we'll call it ground level. And they're right in the sweet spot between 100 and 500 meters. That's what he's going after. And this is kind of where you want to have a finding. Triple R is roughly the same as that 100 meter mark down to 300 and something meters. And that's what we've got here, and that's what they're hitting. And they've also got a massive area that could potentially be bearing, obviously, uranium here. It says this is an exciting discovery for Baselode. We believe this discovery is part of a new and large uranium system within the Athabasca Basin area. These results are a testimony to our Athabasca 2.0 thesis. And the 2.0 thesis is basically, and I'm going to scroll down here, is to search for things outside of the basin, outside of the sandstone basin. This basin, we think, used to be way out past all this, and over the years, it's eroded down and down and down to where it is today. So this used to be where the basin was, the sandstone. It's just eroded down, which means that erosion took the top layer and moved it lower, exposing potentially deposits that are closer to the surface. And the reason you want to be outside of the sandstone is it's easier to mine than it is being underneath the sandstone and being deep. So if Baselode can find a deposit that's close to surface outside of the sandstone area, which is easier to mine, you basically are hitting very valuable uranium. And this is HK 2107. That's the drill hole that bared some good fruit. And there could be a big deposit over here. Very well could be. And that's what they're trying to find out, see how big that is. It says here that so it says drill hole HK 2107 intersected a sequence of Athabasca sandstone immediately beneath glacial overburden at 35 meters of depth, drill hole depth. So there is sandstone there. The sandstone shows signs of classic Athabasca sandstone uranium deposit alteration styles, including pervasive bleaching, secondary hematite, and other oxidized alteration overprints, as well as hematite alterations along faults. The unconformity between sandstone and basement rocks was intersected at 60 meter drill hole depth. The basement rocks are strongly altered from the UC down to 300 meter drill hole depth. Basement alteration consists of predominant and pervasive chloride alteration with clay alteration and hematite, which resemble alteration envelopes proximal to known Athabasca basement-hosted uranium deposits. The drill hole has stopped at 471 meter drill hole depth, and see the drill collar information. Looking up here, I'm just wondering, I wanted to touch on this as well. It says, this is an exciting discovery for Baselode. We believe the discovery is part of a new and large, obviously, uranium system. The radioactive interval averages 642 CPS and includes multiple intersections of greater than 1,000. An average of 3,900 CPS over 0.5 meters at 138.8, which also includes a 0.1 meter interval of 12,500. An average of 2,000 CPS over 0.9 and 2,200 CPS over 0.2 at a depth of these depths. The widespread basement alteration we've intersected in HK 2107 reflects a large hydrothermal fluid system that could be fertile for high-grade uranium mineralization, which is demonstrated with radioactivity greater than 10,000. We're also excited to have intersected Athabasca sandstones outside the previously known basin margin. This provides us with exploration targets for discovering unconformity-style mineralizations just 50 meters below the surface at Accio. 50 meters below the surface, guys. That's really close to the surface. So again, I'm not a geologist here. I'm not going to pretend that I know absolutely everything about all these numbers. But what's positive is that they're hitting things. There could potentially be a large deposit in that area. And what you do is, if you've got this big deposit, and the deposits aren't necessarily all uniform, they've got these different alterations, clay and whatnot, around the deposit. So it's a big, huge envelope. And what they're doing is they're poking in and trying to find something. And they could poke through like a little tip of it. So let's say there's a huge deposit that's deep in some area, and then it has like a tail on it or something, and they poke through and they can see the tail, but they may not hit the main mother lode, so to speak. Or maybe they went through the main portion of it. It's hard to tell. So what they're going to have to do next is define what this deposit looks like. And what are some of the we'll call it the uranium percentages, how concentrated is it? How big is it? The volume and all that stuff. So there's still a lot of work to do, but they know something's there. And I'm curious to see what this thing looks like at the end of it. So it's positive, and hopefully, I think James today is going to release something and give a little bit more insight than I can. He's obviously far more connected than I am with any of this stuff. But it's exciting that they hit something. I'm holding on to my shares. I'm not letting anybody take it. And let's hope they continue the success going forward. So good job, James. Good job on hitting something. And let's define this thing. Let's see how big it is. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.